Guys, welcome back to the channel. And today we'll be discussing the Housewives of Potomac that aired last night. And I think this episode was called Fashion Showdown. It is the episode before the finale that airs on Sunday coming. And I am
Mm-hmm.
so happy that this season is finally coming to an end.
Me too.
Yeah, I am really happy it is finally coming to an end because I felt like I learned nothing this season. This season was pretty much the same BS over and
Yeah.
over and over. So, yeah. What were your thoughts on the episode? How much do you rate this episode?
Um, I'm gonna give it a 7. I'm not even sure because I kind of zoned out most of while I was watching the episode. I was laying in bed watching the episode and I zoned out a couple times.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be too unfair, so I might say a 7 because I feel like in their world it was all excited and all, but to me it was really boring. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with a 7.
Yeah, for me, I'm gonna rate the episode at 6.5. It's sad. I can't recall though for the entire season as aired. I don't recall if I ever given any episode a 9,
I think the most you have is a
8,
yeah, I
probably.
think.
And maybe I
Yeah.
was just being generous that episode.
I think when we just started reviewing the episode, like the first season, the first episode, I mean, when we just
Hmm.
start reviewing the season, the first episode, I think, or the second episode, I think you gave it an 8. But
Yeah.
even, but yeah,
I don't know what's going on with Potomac. I don't know what they think they're bringing. I'm hoping next season they get their act together.
for real.
So today I'm just gonna go pretty much on the highlights of the episode. I won't even go into it scene by scene because I don't think it really works going into it scene by scene.
Uh-uh.
The first thing we noticed where we saw what I would think a highlight would be is we saw where Mia and Gordon they went marriage counseling. We saw where Mia then says that Gordon was at time a bit combative.
Mm-hmm.
She also stated that the first time that she filed for, or basically got a lawyer to do a divorce, he pretty much emptied out her bank accounts, her inheritance that she inherited. And she literally was left with nothing, and she finds that as abusive, which it is. What were your thoughts on that scene and the counseling session?
Boring to me because in my mind I was like, they need to get it over with and done because clearly Mia wants a divorce.
Yeah,
By the hook or by the crook, she wants a divorce. It doesn't matter what it is because I mean it's kind of crazy work for me for someone that you like have kids with and all of that. Like been here for how long? Been together for how long? Like
I
8 years,
have
I think
probably
they're
around then. Yeah,
together 8 to 10 years,
right.
and you're so quick to like one to get a divorce. I'm thinking she's just tired of the sugar daddy life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like she need a young guy, which clearly we saw eventually that she was posting up with some alleged rapper, I think, or
I think he's a
producer,
DJ
something,
radio host.
DJ radios. Yeah, so she needed young, some young, something young,
Some young
and
D. She needed some young
like
D. As
Gordon
our
ain't got
friend
no
said,
money
we are
no
not going to
more.
filter. This is called unfiltered convos. We remembered when Jacqueline said that she just needs some. Yeah,
Yeah,
so that is
yeah,
what
she was
she
right. She
right.
was
She
right.
wanted
She
that.
was right. And I mean, Gordon ain't got no money no more, so a
What
sugar daddy
else is there?
ain't a sugar daddy without sugar. So
Exactly. The next thing we saw as a highlight for the episode, where I don't know what, again, really what was really the point of this scene. We saw where Dr. Ken visited Candice at her house, and pretty much all she needed to hear was, "I think you're ready for a child." I don't know if that could not be a phone call or something. I don't know why
right, that's
we
just
needed
crazy. And
him
like
to
he
be
was
there.
like, I feel like this is a season. Like, what do you really know? Because first of all, this is my own observation and opinion. Like anybody who uses him as their counselor, their relationship or whatever is counseling him on, or a therapist or whatever,
Hmm.
never ends well.
Yeah,
For
because he's
example,
on every franchise.
Exhibit A, he was a the I think the marriage counselor for Ralph and Drew on Housewife
Yes,
of
yes, yes,
Atlanta. And
yes.
what happened? And I'm like, I've seen this before, so I'm like a bit nervous for Candace and
I'm
Chris. I don't
nervous for
know.
her as well.
Yeah.
The other thing we saw where they finally had a scene where everybody was making their grand entrance to a restaurant, and we found out that Mia was contacted by a magazine regarding getting a highlight, and I'm glad that they broke the fourth wall and stated that, to be honest, they actually saw them on Housewives of Potomac. Of course, we
Mm-hmm.
found out the new Grand Dame Nneka was not mentioned to be a part of the shoot because nobody knows her. She does not go here yet. So she was not included for this shoot. And for me, the highlights of the persons they chose, I can't believe they gave Beyonce to
Beyonce too.
Giselle.
I mean, I guess it's a resemblance on the hair color. I
But
don't
still,
know.
like of all other persons, you could have given her Tinashe.
To-
Like you didn't even have to give her Beyonce. Candice got Diana Ross. That's cute. We know Candice is doing her music
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, that was cute.
Robin being Mariah Carey, I don't see it. She
I
did
don't
not
see
pull
it.
the look off either well as a Mariah Carey. I don't know
No, not
what
to
it
me.
was. And yeah, so yeah, but the other girls, and I think Wendy was Cheryl Lee Ralph, I think that's her name. But
Yeah.
the other persons they were cute. I don't really
They
know
were
them
cute.
like
Yeah,
that,
I
so
didn't
I
care
won't.
much for the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing is we now saw where Robin and Juan they were looking on. You know that she's opening a franchise for some company that she
Mm-hmm.
has partnered
Mm-hmm.
with, and they were looking on a space because she pretty much needs to diversify that income because one is not working anymore. She doesn't know if she has a job next season, so she kind of has to work on us outside of the podcast. I'm hoping that she get paid from it, but she had to find some other way to diversify that income. So we saw
Mm-hmm.
where she's now looking on spaces to open this franchise, and it was I dislike Robin. I won't say hate. I dislike her, but
Mm-hmm.
I like the initiative for her to be looking somewhere or looking a space for something. Like I like that she's not just sitting on the platform and not necessarily
I
doing anything.
mean, it is crazy that she's like just doing this at the end of the season. This should have been like the startup and like showing
Yeah.
the progression off.
Yeah, and that's why I don't
So
know
I'm
what's going on
like,
behind the scenes, but
it's
it
a
just
little too
seems like
late.
everything is just all over the place, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what are we doing here? Like we're literally on the second to last episode of the season, and this is when you're giving us actual
Yeah,
story.
a startup. That's something that we wanted to see, like a story adding on to.
Yeah, and I
So
don't want her back next season, so I don't want you guys to think that you're going to carry over
yeah,
this story into next season because I don't care for her. I
hell
don't
no.
care to see her next season, so no. We then get to the other scene that we saw, which was a beginning scene where we saw that Nick and Ike, they went to the doctor to do, she's doing her IUI.
Yada yada yada.
Um, I like the
I
story
did.
behind it, but I don't care for her, so I don't really care for the scene. And at the same time, I don't know if it was me, but do you see how she speaks to her husband? But then she
Very
has the
like
nerve to talk about when the husband is in get out and he needs to get out and
he's giving
etc.
very controlling over there. Like I swear, Happy Eddie
Exactly.
speaks more. Him
Exactly.
on the other end, he's very he doesn't talk much. He just be running around.
Yeah.
She do the talking and all of that. So it's kind of giving someone needs to save him.
Yes, he needs saving. And then we finally got to the tacky show, which was the GNA fashion show. We
Mm.
saw Deborah Sesame Street. She was in attendance. She hugged Wendy. Wendy gave her a little fake hug. Karen decided to call the fashion line, which is true because the whole time I was watching the
Yeah.
fashion show, I'm like, I thought this shit was supposed to be for gym wear.
Very heavy on the leisure and
Right. Like,
light on the
where
jet.
are
I didn't get
we?
it. Like I didn't.
As Karen said, they should have called it booty call nighttime wear because I'm like,
I was
where
like,
are
I don't
we
see
wearing
nobody
this
wearing that
to?
shit to the gym. Like it doesn't
And I
make
think Candice said
sense.
it like she's looking on it and it's more like yeast infection. Like, where would we be
Yeah, she was
wearing
an
this
upper
shit to?
class Alibaba.
Yeah, where are
That
we
took me
wearing this
out.
fashion thing? I think they really missed the mark, as Karen said, because
Yeah,
you guys said it's athleisure. If you wanted to do a leisure line, which, okay, then keep it that way. But don't say athleisure and not one
yeah,
item in the lineup looks like something that's comfortable can be worn in the
yeah.
gym.
Yeah, right.
Unless you're marketing this for persons who just go to the gym to stand in the mirror and take a picture and act like, oh, I was at the gym working out.
Still
But
wouldn't be something that I would
yeah,
want to
and it wouldn't be
or
believable
suggest anyone to do.
because if somebody is
Right.
taking a picture and they're saying, hey, I was at the gym, I wouldn't believe you really worked out because that outfit looks very hot
It
and
really was giving
sweaty. And
Sheen. I ain't gonna lie. It was giving
they
Sheen.
probably hit up Sheree to give a little, a
Probably.
little something off of
A fashion
her.
with fashion. It could have been a fashion. They could have keep the fashion. A fashion
Yeah.
show with real fashion.
But then they
It
could
could have been
jumping
just
in,
a
but
fashion show.
oh my God, this is a fashion show and it's like actual fashion. I'm so super proud
Fashion,
of them. And I'm
yeah.
like, girl, you
Shut
just
up.
pit me. Like, you just
Even her
want to
own
be.
friend Robin said it because Robin was the one who said they were heavy on the leisure and not much of a
Yes,
fashion gym wear. She was
exactly.
honest. At least she was being honest.
But this episode was a drag. We saw at the final episode, I don't know why they even they're dragging this shit. But we saw at the final episode where we saw the alleged fight
Hmm.
that went
They
down.
should
We
have showed a
already saw
scene.
it.
I wanted to see it. I
I'm
mean,
assuming they're
I
going to
didn't
show
get
it
to
next
see it.
week.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're going to show it next week. I think it was just a
probably.
teaser. Allegedly cameras were down, but this clip has been floating around on social media before the season aired. We know it was Kierna
Hmm.
and Deborah who got into a fight. Before though, which just shows that clearly somebody on the other side is going to the blogs because at first the
Hmm.
article that came out made it sound as if like it was Candice who went up to Deborah and caused the issue, when in
Yeah. A
reality
print
we saw it was Deborah who's
Deborah,
the
she
one who
approached.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it shows that when persons talking about Candice carrying things to social media, there's clearly persons carrying things to blogs to make it seem as if like it's the other way around. When in reality, I'm
Hmm.
glad that they played that audio to show that Deborah needed her 15 minutes of fame again,
Right.
or 5 minutes of fame. We also saw where Ashley was the one who said that if cameras are down. So it makes me believe, did Ashley send Deborah to confront Candice? Because you know Deborah is Ashley's friend, and she
Yeah.
asked if the cameras were down. And at that same time, that's when we had Deborah going over
She was
asking
like,
Can.
"This is your cue now."
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I don't know what all of that was about. I'm hoping to see it next week. I see a little sneak, not really a sneak peek, but a trailer for the finale next week, and it shows Candice in the
Hmm.
confessional saying that look how she's going to be blamed for all of this. So you can tell that it seems as if the Green Eye Bandits or wherever basically
Hmm.
wants to make it seem as if now like it was Candace's fault for why this went down. Or are they going to do the same thing that they did with Monique, where Monique had her proof when she did the court case to know what went down with the
Hmm.
fight between she and Candace, but they were over there saying that did not happen. So I'm wondering if they are going around now creating this narrative to say it was Candice who started it, but then we have the producers playing the audio to show that it was actually Deborah who was the one who
Hmm.
confronted Candice, and that's when it
But it's
went
just
down.
messy overall, just messy, and it seems as if I don't know. It was Candice was the target because I mean she also Deborah also had problems with Wendy, right? She did,
Yeah.
and then she just came in and did a fake hug. Why did you not just do a fake hug with Candice? Why
She
you had
saw
to
the camera. She
confronted
saw the
her?
camera, so she wanted to get her
Hmm.
little 5 minutes
Yeah,
in. She saw the
that
camera
was
on Wendy,
crazy.
and she was like,
All
"I'm saying
messy
hi
work.
to everybody, and the camera is not showing me, but here's the camera on her talking. Let me just go ahead and give her a hug because I know
Right.
this will make the scene."
Hmm.
And I think again why they probably as well kept that clip in because of the fight that went down. So they wanted to
Hmm.
show the lead up of her interactions with persons to make it seem like, oh, she is here, instead of it just popping in a scene to say a fight went down between the board, but we didn't see that she was in attendance or anything. But awaiting next week's episode. I really just want to
Yeah.
see the trailer for the finale. I believe we will be getting the trailer for the reunion. I believe this week, because normally how it normally works is the finale will be Sunday, so they normally put out the
Put a
trailer for the
trailer out,
reunion
yeah.
in this week because normally on Sunday you'd have already start to see the
Hmm.
trailer leading up for what's the reunion, but normally we'd have
Yeah.
already seen it on social media. So I'm hoping maybe sometime in this week we should get the trailer of the reunion, which I'm hoping to see what went down because all I'm hearing is
Hmm.
resolution went down. So we'll see what next week actually
Yeah.
carries. And yeah, it was a blast season. See if the reunion brings anything to make the season seem
Yeah.
somewhat worth watching. But so far, it did not live up to the
Mm,
expectations that I was expecting.
not necessarily. I mean, I must backtrack as well. I mean, we didn't talk about Wendy and her show, the launching of her talk show.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
last episode review, I said that I didn't look into it, so I actually went and checked out her talk
how
show
was
on
it?
YouTube. It's actually okay. It's
Yeah,
actually
I saw
okay. I must
persons
say
on
it's
Twitter
okay.
last night were like commending like they like the direction of
Yeah,
the show that
I
she's
I
doing and
actually
stuff.
do like it.
Yeah,
And she got the views going on too. So,
yeah. I'm happy for her. I'm just don't want if she comes back next season, she's coming back again saying that she has a new business. Like we need to start being realistic with these shows. And if we are creating a business and we
hmm
are coming back next season, it is okay to talk further what's going on with the business or
right.
continue if the business did not actually launch. Still talk about the progression. I'm not sure if it's behind the scenes production is making them not really bring back previous business issues into a new season, but like I would love that
Yeah.
realistic side because if I'm creating a business right now and we have 6 months of filming, and for the 6 months the business was not launched, but you saw the progression. If I'm coming back next season, which is maybe a 3 months time, we're filming again for the
hmm
next season, and the business is still something that I'm working on building and trying to create. I would still love to see what is happening, not me coming into a
hmm
next season saying, "Hey guys, I'm creating a candle line."
Something
Like,
else.
yeah, it seems very, then that's where it seems worse for TV because every season it's a new
hmm
business you're creating.
Right.
So I'm happy for her show. We saw that well, actually last night, scene that we saw in the show was actually the finale for her
hmm
actual YouTube show and not necessarily the pilot. So
hmm
I see that, okay, she completed her first season of the show on YouTube. I'm proud of her. The production looks
I'm
good.
really
It
proud.
doesn't
It
look low
really looks
budget.
good.
Right. I
Yeah.
haven't watched it
I mean, she
personally.
said they went over budget, and I don't know if you saw when Eddie was writing her a check
Right, a
of
check. And that's what a supportive husband
five
does,
thousand
Giselle.
$50,000, I think.
Right. That's what a supportive
fifty
husband does,
thousand
Giselle.
dollars.
Like, you don't need to always make it seem as if like persons are out here struggling in their marriage and everybody's going
Yeah.
through what you went through.
And I mean, I don't
But
know if you remember, like in the episode with Happy Eddie when he was launching the cannabis store
business,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah, they were dragging him, saying he was broke and shit like that. That was
exactly. I
crazy.
know he's
And he's
writing
over there writing
50,000.
check for
Okay.
$50,000.
Yeah, but that is all we have for Potomac today, guys. Let me
Yep.
know in the comment section what you thought about the season, what you thought about the episode, what do you expect from the finale, what are you expecting from
Mm-hmm.
the reunion, and also chime down and let me know who you want to see back next season, who you think should go, who you think should be demoted to as a friend.
Mm-hmm.
We have shared our thoughts in previous episodes of what our thoughts are on for the next season, who we think should be back or not back. But
Mm-hmm.
let me know, guys, in the comment section below. Remember to follow us as well on Instagram. Our handle will be shown on
Please run
screen
the views
somewhere.
up, guys.
Yes, bring the views up, share it with a friend, tell a friend. We're just starting our podcast on shows that we do actually watch, and we really appreciate the support. And also
Yeah.
subscribe again to the channel, and we'll see you next week as we review the next episode of Potomac. Bye.
Bye, y'all.